Alright, shed update time. It is currently about 25 degrees out, and because it's annoyingly cold, that means it's time for me to do Dodge work. Yay! So today, I'm going to be swapping out the heads. As I mentioned, I sent it a little too hard, and I'm fairly certain I bent an intake valve. So now it runs on 7, and it's got 40 pounds of compression in cylinder number 4. And all the cylinder leakage is coming out the intake. So, not good. Yeah. I've acquired this lovely set of 318 heads. Yes, they're going on a 360. I have done plenty of research. It is perfectly fine. It won't really hurt performance very much, especially for this application with like a 2-barrel on it and no performance parts. I don't think I'm going to notice any difference in horsepower. If anything, it might be a little higher because the combustion chambers are slightly smaller, and it might give me a little bit more compression, for better or for worse. So there are a couple differences. These are like mid-80s heads, so they're smog heads, which is kind of trash. I mean, I have smog heads on that already, but they're earlier, so they're not quite as severe, I guess. These have got the smog ports for like the, I don't know, the air pump, which would pump air into the exhaust for the catalytic converter. Heads I currently have do not have those, but these have been deleted already, so it doesn't really matter. You know, the manifolds will bolt up just fine. The other difference with 318 heads is the port size here is a little bit smaller, so it doesn't really make much of a difference. I'll just put a bigger gasket and put my 360 intake on it, and it'll be fine. In a performance application, that would cause some restriction, but from what I've been reading, for a lot of times for just a daily driver type vehicle, these actually make for a little bit better power lower down in the RPMs because there's less, or because it makes for more velocity. I don't know, that's a little bit above my pay grade, but suffice it to say, that's not a problem. So I got these all painted up today. I got the valve covers painted up. About damn time. I've been putting those off most of the semester. So it came out alright. I snuck them into the school and sandblasted them, and got them all painted up. So hopefully these leak less. I'm gonna go buck wild with the RTV, and I'm gonna do my very best to make sure they don't leak. I've got new rubbers for them and everything, so that'll be good. But I gotta clean the surfaces here of paint, but that'll be fine. They came out pretty nice, though. I'm a little annoyed there's like some like cross hatching from like the wire wheel, but it's a daily beater Dodge. It's fine. Just so long as they're not puking oil and they don't look horrible, I think we'll be okay. We'll have to see how crazy I'm feeling. I might lightly clean up the intake and spruce it up a little bit while the heads are off. We will have to see. I don't know how tired and sick of doing this I'll be by the end of the night, but might do that just for fun because the intake looks like trash right now with all the oil burned onto it. I don't like that. But TBD. No real, well, I guess there's a bit of a rush, but it's not really a huge deal, which I decide to do either way. So on the docket, drain the coolant, disconnect the hoses, take the alternator off, air cleaner, probably leave the carb on the intake, depending on how nicely that's willing to come off. Maybe pull the distributor, maybe. I don't know, it might have to come off, it might not. I'll have to take a look. Disconnect all the wiring, obviously. Valve covers off, manifolds off, probably disconnect the manifolds from the exhaust. You know, that's how it goes. Plug wires out of the way, if not off completely. Clean all the surfaces, or take heads off, intake off, clean all the surfaces, new heads on, intake back on, valve covers on, you know, that's how it be. So, more progress as this moves along. Hopefully, I don't run into any big issues or big problems inside. Hopefully, everything is as I think it is, and there's not a freaking hole in my piston, which I don't think. I don't see how there would be, but you never know. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. So, alrighty, more as this progresses.